Hi everyone, welcome to my oral presentation / senior thesis project for INTS 4350. My name is Allison Poirier. The complex problem that I've chosen to discuss and take a closer look on the insights is child obesity, specifically in America. Throughout this presentation, you will get a better understanding of the disciplines I've chosen, why I've chosen them, and how they could tie into solving this complex problem. So, to get started, here's a quick overview of what I'll be discussing throughout this presentation. We'll first start out with the abstract, the introduction. I'll talk about the disciplines I've chosen, the connection between them, and then the conclusion, hoping to bring a solution to this complex problem. Child obesity is a problem in the United States of America. Since 1970, obesity amongst children has nearly tripled, as you can see in the graph I've provided. And based on data from a study in 2015 to 2016, 1 in 5 school-aged children and younger in the United States are obese. That's according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Given that this is a complex problem, bringing in different disciplines to aim and come up with possible solutions will be very beneficial to this topic. I'll be discussing psychology, exercise science, and advertising, which will help surface insights and information to get a better understanding about this complex problem happening here in America. In order for you to get a better understanding of what obesity is, here's a definition. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, obesity is defined as having excess body fat. Body mass index, other known as BMI, is widely used screening tool for measuring obesity. BMI is a person's weight in kilograms divided by the square of a person's height in meters. Scientists have found that the BMI is moderately related to direct measures of body fatness. The disciplines I've chosen are psychology, advertising, and exercise science. I'm about to get into a bit more detail of how they fit into child obesity and how we can fix it. Although this topic of obesity amongst children in America is a very complex problem, we can use psychology to get a closer look as to why children may be obese. Eagle 2012 examined the understanding of child obesity in America, linkages between household income, community resources, and child's behaviors. It was critical to get to the root that causes childhood obesity in order to get a better understanding. Eagle and his colleagues looked at the associations between child obesity, household income of their family, and how income and childhood behaviors led to obesity. This study took place in Massachusetts and evaluated the differences of the socioeconomic statuses versus health-related behaviors. And based on the findings, Eagle and his colleagues concluded that children in lower-income households do not have the same resources as higher-income households, leading them to have poor nutrition, thus resulting the children in lower-income households to be unhealthy. This then causes children to become obese. It's important to note that childhood obesity is more than just bad eating habits. Based on the research, childhood obesity is about the upbringing of children, social factors, environmental factors, and ultimately the children's selection of nutrition consumption. By digging into the insights of psychology and getting down to the point of what causes obesity amongst children, psychology is just one of the many ways we could help to prevent this. We know that psychology plays a major role when coming to an understanding about what obesity is, and kind of dig deeper as to why children are increasingly becoming obese as the years go by. For the second discipline I've chosen, which is my all-time favorite, is advertising. Advertising is a great way to reach and inform specific target audiences, especially to get the word out about complex problems like child obesity in America. Advertising is designed to raise awareness and reach specific target audiences. With the help of advertising, we can reach areas that have the highest index numbers of where children are obese and making the target aware of the dangers of obesity. The research I found with advertising was really interesting. There's a study done by Marco Garcia and his colleagues that said obesity once established is difficult to treat. Thus, prevention of obesity is the main priority. This study that I found examines past interventions in the light of social media marketing framework that has been designed to increase intervention ideas. By using social marketing, it probably is the best route to go as it is not very expensive to complete. It's important to note that because social marketing through advertising is not expensive, researchers are able to conduct efficient and effective research by using this. By using social media marketing, we're able to create content that will be effective. We can use media platforms such as television, make commercials to inform parents that this is a problem and it needs to be fixed. And by using this, we can inform people who may be unaware that is a major problem in America. The third and final discipline I've chosen that I think would be best is exercise science. It plays an important role as it can help bring ideas of what we can physically do for the children. There was a really great study that I found that I really think ties into exercise science. This study was performed by Kim Jae and her colleagues, and what they did was they attended a child care training program which they surveyed each home care provider. And based off their findings, many child care providers were educated about the importance of nutrition and physical activity pertaining their children in and out of their home. I think that this will be really effective if it gets put to use with more people. Although this was just a small survey, incorporating this with a wider variety of people can educate people and get them more aware of how they need to be feeding their children and how important physical activity truly is. Although each discipline I've discussed has their own strengths and weaknesses, it's important to focus on what each discipline can bring to the table. Some of the conflicts that the disciplines may face are focusing on certain type of alternatives for children to. Looking more into psychology, we focus more on the understanding of a child's background, and we'll focus more on why they are the way they are, whether it be a health issue or if it's families who struggle to buy healthy foods for their children to consume. With advertising, that primarily focus on the planning and creating ways to bring awareness to the audience that child obesity is a problem in America. Audiences may not understand why children are becoming obese, which creates a conflict with psychology. And exercise science alone will not help to solve the complex problem of childhood obesity. Although there are many ways to create a healthy and fun environment, people must not be aware of the issue and want to make a change based on having background information. With advertising, we can take a closer look into how to reach audiences about specific topics, and before they can complete their task, they must look deep into the roots of their insights, psychologically. And after they gather the insights as to why children in America are so unhealthy, we can come up with the ways to prevent obesity amongst children by using discipline of exercise science. Exercise science will help to promote a healthier lifestyle for children. Children have the right to a healthy lifestyle, and with the help of all of these disciplines, child obesity can be acknowledged to show America the importance of how dangerous childhood obesity can be. We can then create common ground from these different disciplines by creating one common goal, which is to make citizens aware that childhood obesity is real and that it is rapidly becoming a problem amongst children, creating problems in their future, whether it be health or death. Since the three disciplines listed have tended to fall into the same subcategories, we can create a technique of organization which produces common ground by illustrating how certain phenomena interacts and mapping their causal relationships. And according to Repko and Sostak, organization focuses on mapping the overall relations between distinct variables. For example, organization. That enables us to see cultural values, social norms, institutional policy, historical precedent, religious beliefs, and so forth, as providing a context with which rational decisions are made. That could be found on page 286. Each discipline has its own important results, and we could bring together as a whole with a common goal for wanting to prevent childhood obesity in America. This will create various thoughts and insights from different points of views. This creates the act of art. This concludes my oral presentation. I hope everyone has gained a little bit more perspective on the various disciplines we can use to educate people and make people more aware of the problem of child obesity in America.